How we doing? How we doing? How we doing, guys? Welcome to episode 94 of the Exec Talk podcast. I'm your host, El Velez. All right. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Bringing out more content. We're working on my editor, shout out Alani. Love you, babe. She's the one that has edited the clips on my social media and stuff like that, on TikTok and stuff like that. So she is now wanting to edit the videos itself. So I'm gonna re-upload the edited versions of past podcasts, and she wants to do them like that. So I appreciate it. I'm not good with editing, so it's just good talking to the microphone. But I appreciate that from her. So we're gonna get more content. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get more content. We're gonna get more short-term content too, and you guys can watch and be in, have an interactive experience and not just watch me talk and stuff like that. So yeah, look forward to that. Thank you for all the support. Keep sharing, keep liking, keep following all the accounts. I really appreciate it. Really excited. I mean, we are less than 10 hours away from the first pitch of the baseball actual opening day season taking off tomorrow. We are less than 15 games away, and at this point I think might be 13 games away from the end of the NBA and start of the NBA playoffs. We have NASCAR going to Richmond, one of the classic racetracks where Denny Hamlin has dominated. It's Thursday. It's Wednesday, so I'm not going to touch too much on that. I'm just going to say they're going to Richmond. We'll hit the results on next Tuesday. But IndyCar's not running. The next Grand Prix for Formula One is Japan. They're not running for another week. So we are focusing on some storylines in the NFL, some in the NBA, a little bit of baseball. We'll break down a little bit of the Shohei Ohtani. And overall, we're just going to have a nice discussion here. It might not be long. Not a lot of stuff has happened in the last few days. We can talk about some games that have happened and stuff like that. I think when we get into the NBA standings, we can really dice up what has happened the last few nights, but especially with the Lakers and Bucks, Jesus Christ. But we're going to talk about the Celtics blowing that 30-point lead to the Atlanta Hawks. Yeah, that was funny. That's why I say, are you really serious? I think your championship chances look like this. That's called imagination. Shout out SpongeBob. But we're gonna start off with football. Malik Neighbors. Remember when I told you guys this is the consensus number 2 wide receiver prospect coming into this year's draft, and over the last few weeks, it has been kind of said by scouts and stuff like that Malik might be the number 1 over Marvin Harrison Jr. That for the last 3 years he's been the number 1 guy on this board. So the weirdest thing to me is that, Malik didn't test at the combine, so we didn't know his numbers. Well, LSU Pro Day was today. Yes, we're going to talk about Jaden Daniels and his throwing performance. We're going to do that, but we got to first talk about Malik Neighbors. I told you guys if he runs a low 4.3, mid 4.3, he has a possibility to go number 1. And this man goes out there and runs a 4.35. Plenty of speed. Plenty of speed for after the catch. Plenty of speed for getting off the line. You have no questions there when it comes about speed. The athleticism is there. The speed in and out of cuts is there. Route running, releases, hands. You name it, he's got it. Typical LSU number 1 receiver, a la Odell Beckham Jr., Jamar Chase. You name those number 1s. That's what he brings. It would be a crime Okay? It would be a crime. And Jim Harbaugh, he said this at the league meetings, which we're gonna break down the kickoff rule and stuff like that. But they asked him, like, oh, what are you thinking of doing with the 5th pick? And he talked about the offensive line. Jim, we're gonna go through what your receiver room looks like right now. Now, Keenan, oh, he's not there. Chicago. Mike Will, oh, he's not there. The Jets. Oh, okay. So Quentin Johnston, Josh Palmer. That's what we're going with? That's what we're going with. Oh. Yeah, you know what division you're in, right? You're with the Chiefs. Unfortunately, that's what you're up against. Okay? So if I'm Justin Herbert and I already have Rashawn Slater, I could understand. Listen to me. Hey, you want to take your offensive lineman? Fine. I think that you trade down if you want to take your offensive lineman. Why? Because the wide receiver pool is so deep that, let's say you want to prioritize getting a right tackle, and it's not Joe Alt. You don't want to pick him at 5. You don't want to pick him at 5. You want to maybe trade down to 10. Trade down to 11. Then when you get down to 10 or 11, you could take an Olufashanu, you take a Fuaga, and you already have some because for that 10 to 5 move, you can possibly get maybe either a low, basically a top of the 2, like their second round pick, and the first round pick of you moving to 11 or 10, or a lot more. Because if it's the Vikings trading up there, they're going for J.J. McCarthy. So you can put a premium on that. Okay? And guess what they did? The Vikings have 2 first-round picks, 11 and 23. Why is that 23 important? Because at 23, either Adonai Mitchell's going to be there. Xavier Worthy will be there. I don't know if Brian Thomas lasts down there, to be honest. I don't think so. He's my 4th receiver on the board. I don't see him falling past 16, to be honest. And somebody's going to trade up for him, because if they see him fall 15, 16, I think somebody's going to trade up for him. The kid is electric. He's a beast. So you're looking at 23 and you're looking, I need 2 positions. If I'm Jim, I'm looking at 2 positions after I take my tackle. Take my tackle at 11. I'm taking either receiver or tight end, and I am only talking about 1 tight end. I am not talking about Jatavion Sanders. I'm not talking about nobody. I'm talking about Brock Bowers. If he's there, you take him. If he's there. Okay, if he's not, you take Adonai Mitchell. You take Xavier Worthy. Maybe Xavier Legette. Even though Quentin Johnston's kind of his, maybe, not really. Legette's a lot bigger than Quentin when it comes to, I think, girth wise, maybe like 10, 15 pounds. And they're kind of like the same style of, except Legette is a lot more, I believe, explosive and better hands. But, so if I'm Justin Herbert, okay, you got me the tackle at 11. Cool. You got draft capital back. Cool. What are we going to do with that 23? That 23 better be some type of playmaker for me. Brock Bowers, Adonai Mitchell, Xavier Worthy, Xavier Legette, Pearsall is up there. Roman Wilson. Yo, whoever you think is best for me for this offense, Jim Harbaugh. That's what I need you to pick with that 23 pick if you are trading to the Vikings. That's to the Vikings. That's to 11. That's probably to take Talisi Fuaga out of Oregon State. Okay? If you go from the Jets, which is the 10th pick, if you want, if you move down to 10, I just don't know if you can convince Chicago to give up 9 to take Rome. I don't think Chicago will get off of Rome, considering that they could basically have a wide receiver 1 trio at no penalty. This is just taking what you are in the draft because of a great trade that you did last year. And to just put Malik with somebody on his timeline, because Keenan's a little older. DJ's young, but he's been in the league 4 or 5 years. You know what I'm saying? You put a young Roma Dunze with him, then, you know, I don't think Chicago will pass that up. If you move to 10 to take your tackle, you got to get something else. You can't just get that 10th pick from the 5 to 10. You can't just do that. You got to pick something. You got to get their second. You got to get something high. Because if you don't, it's a deep wide receiver class. Like Malachi Corley's really good too. You know, but at the same time, like, at the position that you are at 5, you could literally take like another legit 1 difference maker. Can be the best player in this draft class type shit. You feel me? So like, I wouldn't do a lot of contemplating about this pick. It's either you want Joe Alt, but you're not gonna kick him you're not gonna kick Rashawn Slater to right tackle and you make your Joe Alt your left tackle. So I don't think you do that. I think you amass resources or you take Malik Neighbors. That's it. That's it. You say, hey, we can take the 11th pick and the 23 pick, maybe hit Fuaga at 11 and hit maybe Adonai Mitchell at 23 or Roman Wilson, whoever you want down there. Whoever you feel comfortable taking for Justin Herbert, because you needs a number 1. Quentin's not going to be his number 1. I don't think so. He might show up and be the Quentin from TCU, but I'm not sure. And then Josh Palmer and everything he has, everything else kind of, it's mid-tier for a guy who can just sling the ball. We're talking about Justin Herbert here. Let's not overthink this. He needs a 1. Unless you are going to pay T. Higgins, you need to draft a 1. Unless you're going after Justin Jefferson, you need to draft a 1. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. It does not get any easier than that for the Chargers. Okay? Cordero Patterson to the Pittsburgh Steelers, 2-year deal. This is classic Arthur Smith, guys. He did this with Jonnu Smith. He does this with the guys that he's played with before and he's coached before. Now, is it possible for Cordero to be the Cordero that he was in Atlanta 2 years ago before Bijan? I don't know. He's like 30-something years old. Those legs are heavy. Big guy, 6'4". Maybe he puts him at wide receiver, uses him as a third wide receiver. Again, do you want that? I don't think so. First of all, okay, guys, listen. Mike Tomlin said that it's not a competition. Like we said when it happened. When Justin Fields got traded there, we said there was no competition. Mike said that Justin will have the opportunity to show himself, to show what he's got in the preseason and training camp and stuff like that. But the job is Russell Wilson's to lose. If I'm being honest with myself, whenever you give Russell Wilson a true number one receiver, he shines. I know you guys maybe don't remember or don't respect him a lot, but Doug Baldwin was a heck of a number one receiver for Russell Wilson for like 7 years. Sidney Rice when he had him back in the day when he was winning Super Bowls. Obviously, he had Jimmy Graham. He had Percy Harvin sometime after the Minnesota years. Golden Tate before he went to the Lions. So if you give him a number one, DK before he went to the Broncos, if you give him a number one, Tyler Lockett, if you give him a number one, he can cook. He can cook. And he has a number one. He has George Pickens, one of the freakiest wide receivers in the league. Speed, size, athletic ability, jumping ability, hands, whatever you needed, he got it. The dog. Sorry, I just hit my mic. Getting a little excited here. Everything you want. If you give him a good running game, he can function. But is the elite movement there that he had in Seattle? Is Arthur Smith gonna let him cook? Not Sean Payton him and baby step him and like, all right, 1, 2, 3, ball out. This is your read. Nah. All right, Russ, you got a flood. You got hitch on the backside. Your running back is going flat route, angle route, over the ball. Everything else, up to you. If he runs it like that, give Russell a little bit more freedom, then we can see if Russell still has the magic that made him a consensus first ballot Hall of Famer before he went to the Broncos. But let's not kid ourselves, guys. Whoever plays for the Steelers is going to suck. And the reason why is because Arthur Smith is allergic to using his number one options. Was allergic to Bijan, allergic to Drake London, and allergic to Kyle Pitts. Let's use old Cordero Patterson, Jonnu Smith, Kadero Hodge, Jonnu Smith. I don't understand. I do not understand. To this day, I don't get it. He was a good offensive coordinator for the Tennessee Titans. It made Derrick Henry look really good. He just forgot how to use his people. This is what it is. So we'll see as an offensive coordinator again what he does. Okay? The kickoff rule. Listen. I know it's going to look different. Okay? I know it's going to look something like this. I get it. Okay? We might think it's this right now. But it was either this or the play got completely taken out of the game. That's what we got to. So the play is literally kicker by himself at the other 30 or 40 by himself, kicking off the tee. On the other side of the 50, you have, I believe, 10 players on the 40-yard line in whatever kind of there's different nuances of what they can do. They give them a lot of freedom to line up and stuff like that. The next line is the receiving team. They're 10 yards apart. One's at the 40, the other one's at the 30. The landing zone is between the goal line and the 20. The goal line and the 30, something like that, or the 25. There will be more returns. The goal of this was to get around, there was like 2,053 non-plays last year. Dead plays. That's basically kick it out of the end zone. That's a dead play. Nothing happened. It was not a play. They're potentially trying to bring, with this new rule, 50% of that. So 1,000 plays. So imagine 1,000 other plays that are returns. In a favorable matchup for people to be very strategic and creative with the way that they use their returners, who they pick as their returners, how they set up the blocking. And for the kicking team, one hell of a time figuring out how to stop some of these freaks returning the ball at full speed while only getting a 10-yard head start. Now, people are going to become really good at tackling. We're going to see some good tackling. We're going to see some speed. I think this is going to show off the real speed of these guys because, like, if you're coming from the other side of the field, you can kind of track me a little bit. You can see me for 40 yards. It's like, all right, I'm going to take this angle. You got, depending on where the ball lands, even if it lands at the 1, if you have a guy like Tyreek Hill, Xavier Worthy, Kevondre Turpin, Keyshawn Nixon, like if you got these, speed demons running out, 2-3 steps, they're at 20 miles an hour. You got 10 yards between you guys and the receiving team trying to block you, 10 yards. And the returner is coming from already 20-yard head start, already looking where he's going to set up his blocks. I'm just saying, I feel like it would be a lot more returns. Whoever gets tackles will be studs because, getting those guys on the ground. You put Debo back there. He breaking 3 tackles and he out of there. Shit, you could put Cordero Patterson back there and he could channel the old Cordero. There's a lot of things that you can do with the new rule. I like it. We'll see how it goes. They can tweak it based on what happens in preseason and stuff like that, or even in the season. So right now, it would be 50%. It was going to be more, but the competition committee received the idea, the whole plan from every special teams coordinator in the league. That's who made the rule. That's who made the structure of the play. And they said the penalty should be 35 if you kick it out the end zone. That would have incentivized a lot more. Hey, land it in the zone. I think we can tackle better than putting it at the 35. That's a whole 10 yards from the 25 where they were starting before. But they were like, let's not do that. Let's start at the 30. So we'll see. We'll see, how much that differs because people might just kick it out of the end zone and just say, all right, we're going to play defense for 70 yards. Or people are going to be like, good kickers are going to, no, I can pin it. I can pin it. Now, the best thing about this rule that most people don't talk about, but the best thing about this rule is that if you kick that ball into the landing zone, not in the end zone, there is no fair catch. You got to bring it out. You got to bring it. Ain't no fair catch. You're not fair catching at the 7. You're not fair catching at the 10. Nah. It's from the 1 to the 20. There's no fair catch. Okay? And that incites more plays. More, I want to run it out. More laterals. More pitches. Sweeps. Because it's 2 returners back there. You got 9 blockers, 2 returners. We'll see how they play with it. I like it. We'll see how it goes. Okay? Tre'Davious White signs a 1-year deal worth $8.5 million, max of $10 million with the Rams. They got Darius Williams from the Jaguars. Now they got Tre'Davious White. No Aaron Donald. Okay? So why do you sign Tre'Davious White? Well, considering that he's coming off an Achilles injury, but he was an all-pro corner before that, I think that it's a pretty good bet that he might come back and be pretty good. Plus, he has the mind. He has a lot of experience, including in the playoffs. Also cements the fact that you have to draft defensive tackle in the draft. And you have zero choice in the matter. Zero. Unless you're going to get ballsy and go after a Bo Nix or a Michael Penix, or maybe even try to pull off one of those crazy trades and try to get J.J. McCarthy at the top of the draft and come out of nowhere. I don't think that's going to happen. You guys are fully sent on on Matthew Stafford. You got Stetson Bennett on the roster. But overall, this doesn't do anything. Because they're going to get cooked over the middle, bro. This team used to get never run on because of Aaron Donald. Guess what they're going to do now? Run. And they're in the NFC. The most NFC East, the most run-heavy division in football. Cowboys, Giants, Eagles, Commanders. They run, and run. Why? Because they can't pass. Except the Cowboys. Sometimes. When they have Saquon, they're running. Even if it's for 1.5 yards a carry, they're running. They're running with Antonio. Oh man, what was this man's name? Ooh, got me. Brian Johnson Jr. and Antonio. That's what they were running. Commanders running. Why? Because they couldn't pass sometimes, depending on the quarterback. Or even the offensive coordinator. You know? So, and even in Dallas, when things go well, they run the ball. When Zeke was there, healthy Tony Pollard, you know, even you go back to D'Amico. You know, actually, no, D'Amico wasn't as good as he was in Tennessee after he got that contract in Dallas. It's the thing that people don't remember about D'Amico. Demenko, sorry. It wasn't D'Amico. I think it was Demenko. Guys, listen. Brain is farting right now. It's like 10 p.m. But I think that overall it shores up the outside with Darius Williams and Trey White if Trey White is fully 100%. But you still have the giant weakness that is the interior D-line. Because Aaron Donald retired on you. All right, last one. Two more for football. Jadeveon Clowney signs with the Carolina Panthers for 2 years. $20 million. Max of $24 million. Listen, you're not going to replace Brian Burns, but this is something to mitigate the effect. He played really well with the Ravens last year. He can apply pressure. He can get to the quarterback if he wants to. He's going to be the premier pass rusher there, I believe, because Frankie Louvu's gone as a linebacker, and you lost Brian Burns, like I said. He's going back home where he was at South Carolina, so I think, and he went to high school there, grew up there, basically. So I think that it's a good signing. Now, it might be a little rich. $20 million guaranteed. That's a little rich. For him, it's $10 million. I guess not. Not in this NFL. But you still got to look at this roster and know that you have holes everywhere, and Bryce Young cannot do that, Dave Canales. Okay? Got to fix that offensive line. Got to. In the draft. Got to. If not, add another weapon. Add another one. You know, if you don't like that, you need a middle linebacker, but you take him in the second or third round. Maybe you guys are the guys that take James out of Texas A&M. Edgerrin Cooper out of Texas A&M. Maybe you guys take him because you just lost Frankie Louvu. Or maybe you're looking at a guy like Chop Robinson. You know, Mozzie Smith from Michigan. Chris Jenkins. You know, maybe you're looking at somebody like that because you lost Brian Burns. So it's a good signing, but it doesn't save you defensively, not at all. So it's going to be interesting. And finally, Josh Reynolds, the wide receiver from, Stafford, one of Stafford's best friends, basically, signs with the Broncos. 2 years, $14 million. They lost Judy. I don't know if it's a loss because he didn't do much and he was hurt. But if I'm Sean Payton and I'm looking at my wide receiver room right now, I am concerned. Okay, I'm hitting this button. I'm also thinking this because I don't know. I'm not imagining my young quarterback, whoever it is, Bo Nix, J.J. McCarthy, whoever, functioning with these weapons. Okay? And let's go over them. There's not a lot. Cortland Sutton, that's your one. That's obvious. Doesn't have the long speed, but has everything else. Catch radius, contested ball, you name it, he got it, just not the speed. Josh Reynolds, a little bit of the speed, a little bit older, on the older side right now. He's played a bit, but still can get you that third down, reliable-ish hands, and can get you touchdowns in the back end and stuff like that. So Marvin Mims Jr., we saw a little bit last year. We saw a little cooking, from the kid. At punt returner, at kickoff returner. I need to see more. I need you to be the number 2. Unless Tim Patrick is going to be the number 2 coming back from injury. But it's Cortland Sutton, Josh Reynolds, Marvin Mims Jr., Tim Patrick, Brandon Johnson, Phillip Dorsett, and Lil Jordan Humphrey. That is not successful. I am looking at the AFC West right now, receiver-wise, and I'm just asking myself, who wants to succeed at receiver in this division? Look at the Raiders. Devontae. That's it. It's Devontae. Don't give me Myers. He ain't like that. He ain't one of those. You know? Devontae. Kansas City. Kelsey. We don't know about Rashee Rice yet, and we don't know what they're going to do with that 32nd pick. I would like it to be Xavier Worthy. But maybe it's not. And if it isn't, it's going to fall on Rashee Rice, because if not, you just say Kelsey. Plain and simple. Actually, Hollywood Brown. Let me not cut him short, but I think you need another one. But Hollywood Brown has the speed, not necessarily the size, but has the electricity, the speed to kind of give you a Tyreek Hill-ish aspect to your offense. Notice how I said Hill-ish, because nobody's a cheetah. Okay? And then you go to the Chargers, they don't got nobody. Their number 1 receiver is a rookie from last year, Quentin Johnson, who didn't do much. That's their number 1. And then, you look at the Broncos. I just said it. Who? Cortland Sutton? That's it? Josh Reynolds is going to be your number 2? When Tyler Boyd is still out there. When you can still offer something at T. Higgins if you got the bread. When maybe you can entice a Justin Jefferson. You're like, hey man, you don't got a quarterback no more. You don't know what's gonna happen at quarterback. There's gonna be, are they gonna draft JJ? It's gonna be a rookie QB. You know, there is opportunity out there to capitalize on some weaponry before the draft. I don't understand why you're not doing it. I don't get it. All right. Let's go to a little bit of the NBA. Okay. I'm gonna go through a tweet. Okay. About the free throws over the last year. Okay. And this is gonna make my point. Remember when I in the last playoffs I said, guys, the amount and even earlier this year when you know there's certain games that the Lakers get 24, 25, 40 free throws, like you're like, that's insane, dude. That's insane. Okay. By the way, Malachi Corley ran a 4.45, 27 reps on the bench, so he's strong. And 4.45, that's that's legit. This is legit speed. 4.45. That you can get that in the league. You can do that. We talked about L'Jarius Sneed. I don't know how he's gonna do in the Titans, but they're building something over there. They're building something over there. All right, where's this tweet? Here it is, right here. Shout out to NBA Central. The complete list of NBA teams by net free throw attempts. What is a net free throw attempt? Well, you start from 0 against your opponent. And every free throw that you take more than them, it's a +1. So it's a +1 on the net free throw attempt. Every attempt that you every attempt that you have after starting against your opponent at 0 is a plus to your net free throw attempts. Screw the explanation. This is the numbers. Since the start of last season, including playoffs, Los Angeles Lakers when I talk about egregious, it is not a right word. It doesn't do it justice. Preposterous, blasphemous. These are the words that come to mind when I look at this number that I'm going to share with you guys. Number 1, Los Angeles Lakers, plus 1,017. That means they've taken 1,017 more free throws than their opponents over the last year and the playoffs. You ready for number 2? You ready for number 2? New York Knicks, plus 358. Why's the disparity, dog? What is that disparity, bro? I wish I could go to Adam Silver, the commissioner of the NBA, and I could be like, I'd show him this. And I'd be like, this is a problem. This is something that you guys don't want to fix. And it's not a league-wide problem because you look at the differences between the rest of the teams and it looks pretty normal. 358 for the Knicks. Milwaukee's at plus 344. Orlando Magic plus 311. Boston Celtics plus 271. Miami Heat plus 263. Los Angeles Clippers plus 263. The Pelicans are plus 198. Raptors are plus 160. 76ers plus 129. They're normal. By the way, you know who's last? The Golden State Warriors, minus 646. That means they take minus 646 free throws less than their opponents. That's incredible. That's below the Pacers, below the Pistons, Spurs. Surprisingly, the Thunder minus 270. That's interesting. That's very interesting to me. And the Mavericks are only plus 85, and you know how much Luka gets. Philadelphia being only plus 129 is mostly Embiid. But the Lakers plus 1,017? You want to know the difference between 1 and 2? I'll tell you. 1,017 minus 358. 659 extra free throws. That's what I call a problem. Okay? Now it's not just me gassing it up. It's not just me saying, oh, the Lakers take too many free throws. Nah. That's egregious. You got to stop that. Because that's what throws playoff series. You know how annoying it is as a player knowing that in the fourth quarter, anytime the game is close, the whistle will always go to the other team? If it's the Lakers? You know how frustrating that is as an opponent? That's why I say, like, Denver whooped these guys, bro. Whooped them last year. Like, it was a sweep, and it would have been worse if it wasn't for the free throw disparity. They beat Golden State because they out-free throwed them. If you look at the box scores and everything, they out-free throw, like, by a mile in that series. Of course, you get number 1 and number 30. Of course, they're going to outscore them in free throws. But that's egregious, man. That is absolutely unacceptable for the NBA to allow that to happen. And I know they have these numbers. And they look at them and it doesn't register. Why? LeBron. Because LeBron's there. Let LeBron have the calls. But the thing is, the whole team has the calls. AD has calls. AR gets the ticky-tacky call. D-Lo gets the call. Dinwiddie, Vando, Cam Reddish, Jackson Hayes, they all get the call. Taurean Prince, Rui Hachimura, they all get the call. That's egregious, man. That destroys basketball. That destroys the fun of watching basketball. And this is your most storied franchise, along with the Boston Celtics. And the Boston Celtics are 5th, and they're plus 271, which is respectable. Respectable. They're not even number 2. Not even number 2. The Knicks are, because they play such a physical brand of basketball. But the Lakers plus 658 free throws over the Knicks over a year. We're talking about over a year, including playoffs. That is absolutely asinine by the league to allow that to happen. And I expect an explanation eventually. If not, Adam Silver to look at it and be like, hey guys, yeah, this is not conducive to like a fair play environment. There's some clear favoritism going on here. But I digress. I just want to put it out there because the numbers back it up. I've been saying it for a while. I just wanted to, pat my back there because I knew it was happening. That's what it looked like in front of my eyes. That's what it looked like. Okay? Let's go through the standings and let's really get to cooking. Okay? Let's really get to cooking here. The standings are as follows. Boston is done competing with anybody else in the East. 9-1 in their last 10, except a loss to the Atlanta Hawks by 30. $30? Mind you, no Trae Young. You could say the Boston Celtics had no Derek White and no Drew Holiday. I would accept that if Jaylen Brown wasn't on the court, if Jason Tatum wasn't on the court, and if Kristaps Porzingis wasn't on the court. I would. But you lost by 30. You didn't lose by 30. In reality, you lost a 30-point lead. Okay? You had a 30-point lead. And you lost. They walked you down. Number 1 seed, the 10th seed in your own conference, walked you down. DeJounte by himself and DeAndre Hunter hitting the dagger. That's what walked you down. DeJounte, Bogdanovich, and DeAndre Hunter. That's what walked you 30 points. You know why? You take too many threes, and when they're not going down, you do not have what's called a release valve, where you need a bucket. And let me tell you, you have a guy that is a bucket. You got two. You got two guys that are buckets. Jason Tatum's a bucket. Jaylen Brown is a bucket when they want to be. That's the key. When they want to be. But it's never a matter of, oh, are they talented enough? Oh, do they have the right skills? They have everything you need and much more. Mazzulla not calling a timeout when he has 2 with 2 minutes left, minute and a half left, a minute left, to just kind of calm down the boy. Bad coaching. I've said it, when they get to the playoffs, there's 3 coaches that are better than Mazzulla. Spo, Doc, and Tibbs. You're not gonna win that way. If you go cold, for some reason you go cold and it translates to your defense being ass. Ass. You go cold and you lose a lead. Why do you go cold? You're chucking them up too much. People that shouldn't be shooting that much are shooting that much. And then I looked at this graphic that ESPN came up with. Guys, in pace, how fast they get up and down the floor, possession-wise, they're like 3rd in the first quarter. One of the highest paces in the league. In the fourth, 28th. You know what that tells me? No running plays. What do you need in the playoffs? Run plays. That's why Golden State won. That's why Denver won. They run plays. What wins in the playoffs is called half-court offense. And half-court offense is all about execution. Making the right read. Taking good shots. Passing up good shots to get great shots. Creating mismatches. With actions. Not just bully ball pick and roll at the top of the key. Okay, choose your shot. Not one-on-one side dancing because I got a bag and I could take this tough step back 27-footer. No. Half-court offense. Why did the Heat beat you? Besides taking your soul last year, the Heat beat you because they out-executed you in the moments that you need to be executing at your highest level. In the fourth quarter. You always have more talent. We said that. You guys had a 92% chance of winning that series by BPI before the series started. Actually, no, that was the finals against Golden State, which they also out-executed you and out-dogged you. Curry just kind of said, I'm better than you. It's not your time. And Jason Tatum's performance showed it. So between Jason Tatum not showing up for the moment consistently as a number one, Jaylen Brown sometimes surpassing him, Kristaps sometimes surpassing him, Derek White has a big game. There's not that killer instinct in him. That Ant Edwards, that Kobe, that D Wade, that Mike. That he don't got that. And you can see it on the court in those moments. It's just he shies away from going to the rim. He shies away from, taking a good shot, making a good read. It's all about one-on-one. I can make the shot. For him and Jaylen Brown, it turns into one-on-one basketball, and guess what doesn't work 10 times out of 10 in the playoffs? One-on-one basketball when it comes to out-executing a team in the dire moments. And to be honest, Jason Tatum don't got a Luka bag. He don't got a Kyrie bag. He don't got a Curry bag. You don't even have a Harden bag. You got a bag. That's it. He's not going, nah. He going to hit you with the double crossover, bing bong. Look at you, 6'9", step back, 3. Spin over his right shoulder, spin over his left shoulder, fade. He has to attack. If they want to win the championship, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum have to be on attack mode. Aggressive, to the rim. Open up your outside shot by going to the rim. You were a driving kick team. What happened to that? You kind of still are, but you're taking way too many threes. What's the drive part for? Take the layup. That's the thing about the Celtics, man. That's why it's still Denver. Number 1 to win it all. Milwaukee, 5-5 in the last 10. And lost a 20-point lead to the Lakers at home. When there was 7:46 in the fourth quarter, you're up by 20 and you lose in double overtime. Why? No LeBron, by the way. No LeBron. And AD, D'Lo, and Reeves go for 25 plus. AD goes for 23 rebounds. Goes for 28 and 23 with 4 blocks. Reeves drops 29 and 10 assists. Something like that. 7 rebounds, something like that. And then D'Lo drops like 28. First time ever since the 60s. There was a free throw disparity. We're not here for that. Milwaukee. Why? Damian Lillard, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Chris Middleton, Bobby Portis, Brook Lopez. Why are you losing a 20-point lead with 7:46 in the fourth quarter to a 9th-seeded West team with no Braun? How do you get into a double overtime? Come on. You cannot do this. This is why we've been kind of on the fence all year. Like, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know why they don't do the pick and roll. Okay, they're going to get rid of Griffin. All right, well, we're going to put Doc Rivers in. And where is the pick and roll? Where? It's a simple play. Bring Giannis to screen for Dame. After that, magic will happen naturally based on fear. The Dame and Giannis pick and roll is about fear and choosing the better option. What's the lesser evil? As a defender, as a defense, what is the lesser evil? A rolling Giannis to the rim at full speed downhill or a wide open 25 to 30 footer from Dame Lillard. That is your choice. And if let's say Giannis, screens, rolls, gets the rock, and he has the ball in his hands, he can easily pick out the pass, the outlet pass, and hit a shooter. Beasley, Brook Lopez, Middleton. What else do you need? That's it. Still haven't figured it out. Still haven't figured it out defensively. Lackadaisical. Sometimes lapses in judgment. Foot off the gas pedal defensively. No pressure on the ball. Last night, second overtime, they're not even going for contest. What are you doing? This is the Lakers with no Bron. You need this win. Not for the standings, but for you. So you don't hear the media machine talking. And you're up 20 in the fourth? Come on, man. Come on. New York finally made it to the third seed. 8-2 in their last 10. And Anunoby's kind of hurt still. When he coming back, we don't know. Mitchell Robinson got turned into questionable today from being out. So he'll be back in the next few games. This team gets like this when they're whole. Now, Julius Randle, we still don't know about the shoulder. But when OG Anunoby and especially Mitchell Robinson is in there in the middle with offensive rebounding, they are a tough matchup. They're 8-2 right now. In their last 10, they've won 3 in a row. Hey, they can kind of mess around and challenge Milwaukee for that 2 spot. Don't get it twisted. They're only 13 games back. Milwaukee's 11. It's 2 games. It's 2 games. It's not a lot. Cleveland, Darius Garland supposedly going to come back tonight or tomorrow. Listen, they're kind of screwed right now. 3-7 in the last 10. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. They're half a game back though of the Knicks though. Half a game. That could switch in a flip. That could switch. Orlando, just young. Just young. If we're looking at the playoff outlook, they're just young. But it's such a good feeling for this team to be 5th in the East. Paolo's in his second year. This man's 21. Franz is like 23, 22. Ahmad Black is 19. Cole Anthony's still 24, 23. Like, this is a young team arriving. They're not arriving, but it's kind of, it's not arriving. It's kind of Kings last year, but even younger. And it's kind of Paolo kind of putting the stamp of like, yeah, I was the number 1 pick and I will be this dude. He's top 5 in ISOs this year, which is impressive. 6th, Indiana. 6-4 in the last 10. It's all going to come down to the health of Hallie. He's hurt. He's not hurt. Is he going to play injured? If he ain't healthy, they ain't going nowhere. They already don't have Benedict Mathurin, so they already lost a creator. Obi Toppin ain't one of those. They only got Pascal. It's going to be tough because they play no defense. Miami, we're 7. Listen. We are 2.5 games back. We're 1.5 games back. Indiana's 1.5 games back over Orlando. Orlando's 1.5 games back of Cleveland. Okay? Philadelphia's 8, and they're half a game back of Miami from the 7th spot. So we can still get 8th. I don't want that. We got to face Philly in the play-in right now. That's tough. I don't like that. Philly's 4-6. We also are 4-6 in our last 10. So we're playing kind of shitty basketball, both of us. Thing about Philly is Joel coming back. If he's not, I feel confident. If he is, we're going to get roasted. in that playing game. And then we'll play Chicago or Atlanta again, just like last year. You know, as for Chicago and Atlanta, they're a game separated, 9-10, separated by a game. One's 4-6 in the last 10. That's Chicago. The other one has 3 wins in a row, including the one against the Celtics, 5-5 for the Hawks. Okay? Brooklyn. Trade everybody. Start that shit over. Toronto. None of the experiments have panned out. You've lost 10 in a row, 12 in a row. Stop it. Eliminate it. Charlotte. If LaMelo's not going to be healthy, trade him. Point blank, period. You're going to have another high draft pick this year. I recommend taking another another guy that can be a star in a sense, like maybe have that star potential eventually. And Kentucky guards are always good. I take Rob Dillingham if you got that top 3 pick. Washington, and you pair him up with Brandon Miller. Washington, everything you got there, throw it away. Start over. Throw away the whole franchise, restart it. That shit is horrible. Detroit, Monty has another year next year. By the way, they've lost 8 in a row. Monty has another year next year, and see what Cade and Jaden do, and Jalen Duren, and Asar. Ain't doing shit this year. West, this is where we get to cook. 1, 2, and 3. Denver, no weaknesses. Won 4 in a row, 9-1 in their last 10. 0 weaknesses. There is no flub in their jib at all. This is all chiseled. There is 0 weaknesses in this team. Maybe the bench, but I think Jordan Strother's good. Braun is good. Watson's good. They might be young, but 2 of them won championships last year playing. So I don't see that. Still got Jeff Green. I believe they still got Jeff Green, if I'm not mistaken. You know, Michael Porter Jr. is playing even better than he was last year when you won the championship. So just more chips on your favor. Think Jokic is going to win his 3rd MVP. Put him in a class of his own with Bird. People like Bird, Bron, you know, Mike, you know, very special company, Kareem. You got OKC, half a game back. Half a game. They're 8-2 in their last 10. Playing really well. Playing really well at the right time. SGA's playing really well. So is Chet. So is Williams. Jalen. J-Dub. Everybody's playing great. Their coach is great. Everything's going swell. The only thing, physicality. They're at the 2 seed. That means they're gonna face the 7. The 7 could be the Lakers. The 7 could be Phoenix. 7 could be Sacramento with Sabonis, or Golden State. Size everywhere. Size everywhere. That's what you're looking at. You know? Minnesota, 1 game back of the 1 seed. 7-3 in the last 10. Won 3 in a row. Just Ant. No Cat. Sometimes Rudy. Sometimes not. What's their weakness? Their youth with Ant. Even though it's going to be his 3rd playoff series. His 3rd playoff run. Health of Cat. Need him to stretch out the floor. If not, it's going to be kind of tough. Because you need Jaden McDaniels to take that 15 to 25 point leap. And then health of Rudy and health of Nas Reed. I believe they can get over the hump because of their defense. So I believe they are a legit title contender because I believe in Ant that much. And I believe in that defense. But the offensive output has to be legit 30 a game plus for Ant in order for them to survive without Cat. They need Cat on the floor in order to balance off the offense. Number 4, 5 games back, basically not touching the 3 seed or any of the other seed. The Clippers, 4-6 in their last 10, been struggling. Kawhi got hurt, then he came back. I don't know what's happening there. Health has always been their thing, and it's still their thing. It's health. It's health. There's nothing else to say here. Health. Health of Kawhi, health of Harden, health of PG, health of Zubac. Health. And the next thing, chokers, man. James Harden, PG, chokers, choke artists, professionals. Multiple times. Multiple times. Can't win like that. I love Ty Lue, though. Number 5, New Orleans. 1 game back of the Clips. Zion been playing really well. 7-3 in their last 10. Really good. Really good. Dark horse. That's my dark horse to get out of the West. Nobody can screw with Zion, man. If Zion wants to get to the paint, if Zion wants to get to the rim, guess where he's going? Into the paint and going to the rim. Fear. Okay? You haven't seen Zion wake up. I'm telling you. I think once this man hits the playoffs, it's going to be a different type of monster, man. Because it's going to be all about winning. There is no travel schedule. There's nothing, none of that. We're chasing the trophy. And it's going to be his first go-round, so it's going to be tough with no experience. But he has B.I., he has CJ, he has people that's been there in wars. You know, B.I., in that 6-game series where he went off, and CJ always with the Portland Trailblazers, with Dame. So I'm excited to see this team. Inexperience by Zion is a little bit of a weakness. Other than that, injuries. If Trey Murphy get injured, if CJ, Zion, that's the only thing that could derail them right there. But I feel really good about this team going into the playoffs, especially if they're going to be a 5 or 4 seed. Next, Dallas jumped Sacramento. They're 1 game back of the Pelicans. That means they're 2 games back of a possible 4 seed. That is insane. Shout out to Luka and Kyrie. But really shout out because 9-1 won 5 in a row. They're cooking, man. They're cooking. And there's something. You want to talk about scary? Listen, man. They're the 6th seed right now. They face Minnesota round 1. We get Ant, Luka, Kyrie round 1 right now. If I'm Minnesota, man, I love Ant, man. I love Ant. But you're going against 2 nuclear weapons. You're going against people that can shoot you out a building by themselves. Just them 2. Not to mention one of the best passers in the NBA in Luka. Some of the best rebounders. Lob threats. Once they get there, if the defense is good, which it has been the last 10 games, if the defense is good, watch out for this team, man. Ain't nobody want to see Luka in the playoffs, man. This man averages 33 in the playoffs. 33. That's Mike numbers. Mike. That's it. Him and Mike. As guards in the playoffs. He's 25. Just turned 25. That's insane. And then you got Kyrie. I don't know, just the owner of the clutchest shot in NBA history. Second closest shot, if you want to count the Ray Allen one, which that was in a game 6. This was in a game 7. It's different. But, I think nobody wants to see Luka, Kyrie, man. The way they're playing right now, you don't want to see them. I don't think anybody wants to see them. And if they climb up to that 4th spot, and you're the Phoenix Suns or Sacramento Kings or the Lakers or Golden State, and that's who you got to face round 1, yeah, good luck. Good luck. Okay? What else? Okay. Sacramento number 7. Listen, I think this is a fool's gold here, bro. This is fool's gold. They're 1 game back of the Dallas Mavericks. 9 games back of the 1. Listen, I think it's fool's gold because there's not the same type of hunger I saw last year. Kind of been just there. And right now, you go in as a 7th seed. You're facing OKC right off the bat. SGA, J-Dub, Chet, off the bat. They already got the size on you. You might have the physicality with Sabonis, but that's about it, I think. That's about it. Because SGA can go against De'Aaron, go against J-Dub. You know, I think J-Dub can do that switch. Like Malik Monk coming off the bench, okay, that's fine. Got Case and Wallace to guard all guards. You know, and then we have a plethora of Kenrich Williams, and we can throw so many people at you. So many people. Aaron Wiggins, like so many people. That's tough. That's tough for Sacramento. I just don't see that spark. 8, Phoenix, tied with Sacramento right now. They are 6-4 in their last 10. They are the 8th seed right now. Play Sacramento. I believe they would win that game. Maybe. It would be crazy to see KD, Book, and Beal out in a play-in. That would be very insane to watch. You got the benches. What's happening though? The defense and the benches just does not work. The Lakers at 9. They just beat the Bucks. My people might say they're 11 games back, 2 games back of Phoenix. But they're 7-3 in their last 10, won 4 in a row. D'Lo's playing well. So is Austin Reeves. You know, do we expect that to keep going? AD's playing like a monster. Do we expect that to keep going once Braun come back and everything like that? We'll see. But you're still looking at the 8th seed. You're going right against Denver. The people that swept you out the playoffs last year, you're going to face them round 1. A better team, by the way. Oh, no, they didn't do much. MPJ playing better. Murray's going to go for 30 in the playoffs, bro. He's healthy, fully healthy. He's been playing this year. You know, he's kind of like Jimmy. Been playing this year, just waiting for his chip, man. Just waiting for the chance to go round 1, game 1. That's when Murray's going to wake up. And PJ playing well. Kadavius Caldwell-Pope playing well. Aaron Gordon playing better. Like, I'm sorry for the Lakers, and I'm sorry for Golden State. Golden State, 2 games back of the Lakers. I think you staying at 10. You got 1 more game up. You have a game and a half over Houston right now that are 9-1, won 9 in a row. Okay. The Warriors are 5-5 in their last 10. Curry's on a kind of minutes restriction. They're kind of reducing his minutes a little bit to have his legs. Listen, man, you gotta make the dance. You got no time to rest no more. Draymond. Got to be Draymond. Clay, you need to make shots. Andrew Wiggins need to make shots. Jonathan Kuminga, keep the leap going. Trace Jackson Davis, be good, discipline. Pajinski, good, discipline. That's the only way you're going to do something. Chris Paul, healthy. Steve Kerr, smart. But at the 10th seed, you're still facing Denver. Round 1. What a reward I go through 2 playing games, and I gotta go round 1. Denver, we're defending champs. That's some tough shit. That ain't happening. Houston. As of right now, they just beat the Thunder. Just beat them. That makes their winning streak to 10. They're 10 and 1 in their last 11. Jalen Green is playing better. Has he finally figured it out? It looks like it. There has been no Alfred Sengun. Remember, he's hurt. Still no Alfred Sengun on the court. Amen Thompson is kind of running the show a little bit. Cam Whitmore, I guess he's hurt. He's not playing. Shut down, whatever. They're not playing him. They're not. I wanted him to play, but I guess he's hurt. Utah. Just keep 1-9 in the last 10. Lost 6 in a row. Just keep playing the core. Keep playing Keontae, Lauri Markkanen. Mix in some Taylor Hendricks. Play some what's this man's Scarborough. Keep playing Colin Sexton, John Collins. You're not going nowhere. You just practice. Memphis, you're waiting for next season. Listen, you're clocked out. You found out that G.G. Jackson's a dude for you, and you're waiting for Ja to come back. Brandon Clark is supposedly active. He's going to come back in the next few days. That's nice, off the Achilles. It'd be nice to have him back. But you guys are waiting for next year. Portland. Listen, lost 8 in a row. 1-9 in the last 10. You got to keep going with Scoot. You got to keep going with Ant. And you had no Shaden Sharp for 20-plus games. I mean, first you need to be healthy, and then you need to build continuity. Chris Murray's been playing well. Delano Banton been playing well. But, you need Scoot and Shaden Sharp to be healthy and play well. San Antonio, I guess you're going for Trae Young. That's what you're waiting for. You're waiting for the summer. What big fish am I gonna get? Who wants to play with Wemby? That's what you're playing. Who wants to play with Wemby? And I think it's gonna be Trae Young. Other than that, that's the NBA. Now let's talk about a little bit about MLB, because we got opening day tomorrow. Let's see if they put the pitchers. All right, Sandoval versus Corbin Burns. Corbin Burns should dominate that. The Brewers Mets got postponed to make up March 29th because of rain, and the Braves and Phillies got postponed because of rain to make up March 29th. Tigers and White Sox, who's gonna is Tariq Skubal versus Crochet. Skubal should dominate that. Twins Royals, Pablo Lopez and Cole Ragans. I expect Pablo Lopez to be good in that matchup, but I think Cole Ragans is going to pitch a good game. Yankees Astros, no Garrett Cole. Let's see. Before I look, I'm thinking Rondon and Fromber. Nope. Nestor Cortez is going to be your opening day starter for the New York Yankees versus Fromber Valdez for Houston. I think both of those teams are going to be good this year. Giants, Padres. I'm thinking Logan Webb versus they just got him too. Oh, Yu Darvish. Logan Webb, Yu Darvish. I think I like this San Francisco team, but I think that Tatis is going to have a really good year this year. So I think the Padres and Yu is going to have a good game there. Cardinals, Dodgers. I'm guessing this is Tyler Glasnow versus, man, who is on that staff for the St. Louis Cardinals? Oh, Mike Michaelis versus Tyler Glasnow. Okay. Of course the Dodgers are going to win that. I think they might murder them. Blue Jays Rays. I'm going... I don't think Gosman is healthy. Manoa? No, if it's not, it could be... Oh, man, what's the Japanese dude? Oh, no, they're sending out Barrios. The Puerto Rican versus Zach Eflin. Okay. That's an interesting matchup. I like Barrios in that one. I like the way he pitches. He's Puerto Rican too, so. Washington Nationals, I'm expecting here. Oh man. They're Mackenzie Gore versus Hunter Green. Oh no, Josiah Gray versus Frankie Montas. Interesting. I would have sent out Hunter Green because I know Nick Lodolo. I don't think he's ready yet. Cubs Rangers. I'm thinking Justin Steele, Nathan Eovaldi. Justin Steele, Nathan Eovaldi. Okay, I'm taking Eovaldi in that one. I'm taking Texas, even though I like the Cubs this year. Guardians Athletics, Shane Bieber or Williams. I'm going to go Shane Bieber. And I don't know who is pitching for the A's. So Shane Bieber versus Alex Wood. Wow. Wow. Shane Bieber should murder that. Red Sox Mariners, it should be Bello versus La Piedra, Castillo. Brandon Bello versus Luis Castillo. Okay, I like the Seattle Mariners in that one. Rockies Diamondbacks. I don't know who's going to pitch for the Rockies, but I know that Zach Gallen is going to pitch for the Diamondbacks. So, is that Kevin Freeland? No, Kyle Freeland for the Rockies. Zach Gallen for the Arizona. Arizona should cook that matchup. Pirates Marlins. Mitch Keller. Yuri Perez or Mitch Keller. Sixto Sanchez. If not, Nick Perez, Jesus Luzardo. Mitch Keller, Jesus Luzardo. Good matchup. I like Mitch Keller in this one, especially because O'Neal Cruz is back for the Pirates. But it's going to be interesting, man. I love it. I love that baseball's back. Watching baseball highlights and home runs and strikeouts and just overall good plays it's just enjoyable for me, honestly. I know it's a 162-game season, but I really enjoy watching these players play and see them grow. Man, I do hope Trout hits a home run tomorrow. I hope Bobby Witt hits one. Luis Robert Jr. hits one. I hope Correa hits one. Jung Ho Lee, which is the one that's in the Giants, the guy that came from Korea, their MVP over there in the KBO. I hope he hits a bomb. I hope Shohei hits a bomb. I hope Randy Arozarena hits a bomb. I hope Elliot De La Cruz hits a bomb. Morel, Christopher Morel, Ambelli, Adolis, J-Ram, Zach Geloff, Rafael Devers, Julio, J-Rod, basically. For the Rockies, is it Nick Jones? No, the Rockies is Nolan Jones. For the Diamondbacks, I hope Corbin Carroll hits a bomb or Ketel Marte. And for the Pirates, I want O'Neal Cruz. And for us, Jazz Chisholm. Please, Jazz. Please. Or Luis Ariz. Surprise us. I beg you. But yeah, man, that's it for baseball. I mean, I really hope that everybody stays relatively healthy all year. I want to see those crazy stat lines. I want to see people hitting 300 with 50 bombs. Like, I'm excited for Aaron Judge a full season. Juan Soto. Like, it's going to be so exciting to break down baseball again. Pitching, especially when Jackson Holiday goes up, when Paul Skeens comes up. Hopefully Wyatt Langford comes up for the Rangers. Dylan Cruz, I don't know if he'll come up this year. I hope so for the Washington Nationals. Junior Caminero, you got Jordan Chorio in the with the Brewers. Like, so excited to see the baseball season. Glad you're joining it with me. I love you guys. Thank you for the support. Like, subscribe. Follow me on all my socials. They're all in the description. My TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat. I mean, YouTube, the shorts, everything. I love you guys. Thank you for all the support. And I'll leave you with the outro.